Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Shamyan and thank you for joining me on yet another YouTube video. Yes, my hair is crazy. I'm finally got to that point where I couldn't have the same braids I came here with and I had to make a plan. So this is as much as I can do. This is literally the best of my abilities. I did this all in one day. It shows. First time. So it shows. But anyway, let's get into the video. Today I'm going to be talking about my au pair experience. I finally got to the 8-week mark. And when I was talking to people, when I talked to the agent and everything, they just said 8 weeks is really important because this is where we know if you're going to have a set schedule, you settle in, you know if you made the biggest mistake of your life, if you want to change your host family, and so on and so forth. So basically, I finally made it to the 8-week month. 8-week mark. Wow, why do I keep saying month? It's not the 8th month yet, it's the 8-week mark. Mark. Okay. And so I seem to not be able to speak anymore. I think it's just going to get worse. So let's get into it. But before that, please make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. It kind of encourages me, kind of lets me know people actually want to engage with the content. I do this for fun, but I also like it when you guys watch and engage with the content because then I know what kind of things you guys want, what kind of information you're interested in. And plus, it's a nice ego boost. So don't only subscribe, like the video too. And if you're not going to do neither, why are you here? These are important questions, but let's get into the video. So I'm definitely sure that I'm going to be staying here, but this wasn't all rainbows and roses. I think it was a very difficult journey and I would be making light of the situation or misleading people if I didn't talk about it. First of all, this for me was a 2.5-year journey. But I think I need to make a separate video talking all about it and maybe I will film it today. So I don't know what will come first. But after all of that, I basically arrived here not sure if I even wanted to do this, not sure if I wanted to be part of this since this was my plan for my 21st birthday. I wanted to be 21 in Europe, just having a year of life, a year to reflect and think. And now I'm turning 24 this year and what on earth has happened? I thought I outgrew the thing, and to some extent I still feel the same way, but those feelings really just made me feel like I was making a big mistake and I wanted to make a U-turn. I actually just wanted to go home. And I remember when I was on my flight to Qatar, because that's where I connected, I just kept thinking, once I land in Qatar, I'm going to ask them to change my flight to Berlin so I can just go back home. I'd been reading, literally I used my onboard Wi-Fi to look at ways that I could basically go back. And I think they did something about being able to change your ticket, not having a penalty or only paying the difference. And that's how I was feeling. The day that I got here, I was so anxious. I just wanted to go back home, even before I met my host family. And they were really nice about it and I wasn't even talking. And I remember they just let me chill and, because of course it was new. And I couldn't talk to my family. I knew if I talked to my dad and my mom on the day that I got here that I would want to go back home. So I chose not to talk to my family on my first day because that's really where I was. I was feeling very overwhelmed, the fear of speaking the language. I came here at the end of my B1 course. I finished my B1 on the 3rd of February. And I arrived here on the 21st of February. So I was still fresh from school and I had done my B1 with a German or a Berlin-based school. And so I felt like, okay, that should definitely get me a foot in or whatever. But I just didn't want to speak. I didn't want to say anything. I heard absolutely everything people were saying. People say you won't be able to understand. I understood things perfectly clear. And that's maybe because I had certain privileges as well. I was able to use my money to fund a personal tutoring or conversation coach. So I had conversation coaching, but I didn't want to speak at all. I didn't want to say a word. Then, of course, some health concerns. This is pretty recent. This is over the last 2 weeks I've cried. Whatever, it is what it is. And then the vaccination drama. I already knew that I wasn't vaccinated, according to Germany, because I got the Sinovac vaccine. And if you know anything about the West and the East, they do not get along. And so they didn't want to hear it. That was not a vaccine. I knew coming here. I even had issues at the airport because I went to South Africa first. And in South Africa, they thought it was impossible for me to travel, whatever, go to Germany or anywhere in Europe without a vaccination, especially a Pfizer vaccine. And so I ended up having to sign a indemnity form to let them know that I was okay coming here despite their warnings. I knew what the embassy had told me, and so I was pretty confident. But yes, so I had to get revaccinated, and I've been fully vaccinated as of the 3rd of April. And then over and above that, once I came here, I knew this and I kind of thought I was prepared for it, but there's a lot of loss of community. In Zimbabwe, I did experience the same thing because everyone left the country. Literally, my closest friends were out of the country for a long time, and people were now starting to come back. I have, of course, my best friend was there back at home. We kind of left the country and came back roughly around the same time. But I was going through that process, except here I had no comforts. I knew absolutely no one. And so I just knew I had to start looking for community, looking for people, and putting myself out there. Because I believe in community. I think I even have an episode on the feminist importance of friendship, whatever, why we should all be friends. I don't know what I titled it. Maybe I'll put it up in the cards. So that was really huge for me. So I was coming here not knowing if I was going to continue my English tutoring job. That was impossible. Without community, I had health concerns. My vaccine was basically a mess. And I had a situation, I just didn't think I was going to get along with the kids because I didn't want to speak to them. I literally wasn't answering anything they say to me in German, even though I heard them. The kids were anxious because I speak English, I'm their first au pair, and they were just anxious as well. And so these were my main issues, really. I don't think there's anything else that I have missed, but for this 8 weeks, I think these were my main issues. So now moving forward, I've settled into my schedule. I get along pretty well with the kids. We're able to have conversations. We have boundaries in place. I know exactly how things work. I know how things should be. I have a very predictable schedule, and I need to talk about this because a lot of au pairs don't ask for this, and they don't have these conversations with their host families, which makes life very difficult for them. I asked for it, so I have a very predictable schedule. I can plan things with the kids. I know my role. We get along, we talk, we converse. I listen to the kids listen to me, but kids are always going to be kids, of course. I absolutely enjoy my host family. I enjoy spending time and talking to my host parents. I have my own life that's separate from them, and I'm encouraged to have that. In terms of community, I have managed to successfully shoot a few shots. Everyone's black. Everyone's black and a woman so far. And I think initially it was very deliberate. I know people say this. I remember someone warned me against it because they were talking about how not all skin folk are kinfolk and so forth, which is very accurate. But I found that to be very important for me to build relationships with people who look like me. Because if you've ever heard anything, if you've read anything about life in Germany, is that the friendship circles are pretty much set. And so trying to penetrate those friendship circles is very difficult. And so my strategy in terms of building community was ensuring that I actually had some kind of community first. And so other immigrants, other expats, or people who are not foreigners basically were my main point of entry. I've met a few Germans. I've had a few conversations with other people, but that's always very difficult because they're in no rush to enter or create new friendships with people because they have pre-existing friendships. And I don't know if this is just a Germany thing, because back home, I'm sure if it's just me and my best friend, it's just me and my best friend. If we meet people elsewhere, it's really through luck, through, I don't know, something unusual. But for us to actively go out of our way to make friendships with people who we don't really have anything in common with, who we don't meet at school, we don't meet at work, that's really strange. So I don't blame them for that, but that was my strategy and it has worked successfully. And I knew I was going to have a good time. I've kept those promises to myself. So even when I don't feel like it, even when So even when I'm alone, basically, I think that's what I'm trying to say. I still do things, I still go to places, I still interact with people, and I do things that make me happy. When it comes to speaking, I speak more. My host family speaks to me in English. My host kids, the kids that I take care of, only speak in German. And it's very cute. They're trying to learn English. I'm supposed to be teaching them English. The boy doesn't say much, only swears. But it has been very nice. I can tell them stories now. We communicate fluently. Or they love to tell me when I'm wrong. My little one, though, whenever he wants something, then he praises my German. He's like, oh my God, I've never heard German this good. Because he has discovered that I'm a Leo and I love attention. And so, and good things and praise. And this is just wonderful for me. So when he wants ice cream, that's how it goes, really. So I'm speaking a lot more. I'm starting to learn to speak with my host family, certain rules. I think they were easing me into the language, which I really appreciated because I was like, no, you're making me anxious. I would rather not speak. And yeah, so pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I have gone to many parks. I walk now. Every week I try and walk somewhere. Not even every week. It's supposed to be an everyday thing. I literally want to get steps in, explore more of the place that I'm in. I have absolutely fallen headfirst into the German culture of coffee and cake. It's going to be the death of me. I've definitely fallen into it. I go out on my off day every single time. Doesn't matter if I've gone out in the afternoon. It doesn't matter if I'm going to an event or if I'm just exploring the city. I had my first trip. I went to Potsdam. I'm starting with closer cities and areas because I think that's good. So I'm exploring. I'm definitely trying to zone in on the things that I had written, that I had imagined when I was 21 years that I wanted to do with this year and using it that way. I did a language course with Deutsche Academy. Again, I did a conversation class to help me learn to speak, and it definitely helped me gain more confidence. Sometimes the accents do throw me off a little bit, but yes, slowly and surely I'm gaining confidence. I'm gaining the ability to speak. I understand. I never not understand, but we can talk about why I understand what's being said to me even when I can't speak. Okay, have I forgotten anything? Oh, poverty. The poverty of being an au pair. I watched so many videos of au pairs, current au pairs, videos they made when they were current au pairs, old au pairs, and everyone talks about the money. So au pairs only get 280 euros pocket money. This is not classified as a job. It's a cultural exchange program. So you do have most of your costs covered by the family, and then they will give you some pocket money. I cannot tell you where that money is going. I don't even know what life I'm living, but I'm always broke. And I'm always looking at my PayPal and why no one is sending me money, because that's all I need. At this point, I don't want anyone. If you want to befriend me, just send me money. That's really what it is. It's the brokest year of my life, I think. I think many au pairs say this. This is the brokest you'll ever be, but you'll be having fun. So it is what it is. We live in the minors, and yeah. So I think that's all when it comes to this au pair year and my experience. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to hear from you, see you liking, commenting, subscribing, and doing all those things that YouTubers, because I'm a YouTuber, a legitimate, serious YouTuber, love to see. All right. That's it for me. I will see you again next week. I think I'm editing all the videos this weekend. So yeah, till next time.